everyone. My name is Kenny Katunansa, and you're watching Pick Your Brain with Mr. Reloaded. Stay tuned.
This episode was proudly sponsored by Hana Beauty Bar. Hi Kenny,
Hi, Mr. Reloaded.
how you doing?
I'm doing great, and how are you?
I'm good. Welcome to Pick Your Brain.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, how are you coping up with Zesco? The load shedding and all? Because imagine I get back into the country and the first thing that I'm hearing or the first thing that is trending on my socials is Zesco itself. Of course, and the room 18 thingy, but
Yeah, good.
but yeah, like how is Zesco affecting you?
Uh, oh, I'll be honest to say I've never really been a fan of load shedding itself. So for me, it's really stressing, The
But
fact
when
that in certain situations you get to sleep when there's no power. You wake up, there's no power. And these days with a lot of things that people do require power. So I think it's like a huge setback.
but when it comes to the studies, I'm sure also it's kind of crazy for you because there are times when you want to study and there's no power, isn't it?
Exactly. So that's a whole different, pressure on its own. So I really think it's not helping us at all.
But as humans, I believe that we're meant to adjust to the environment. How have you adjusted to it?
Well, for me,
Have you got yourself a solar panel?
solar panels, those things are even like expensive now because of the demand. But I think the first time it started, the first instinct that came to my mind was get a power bank for your phone.
That's a good investment.
So unfortunately, you know, the power bank is also performing like Zesco these days. So we just have to improvise. You just make sure you charge your devices when it's there, so that you can use them when you need to use them when power is not there. And then I've also like reduced in terms of usage of how I use my devices. Just to have that thing whereby, okay, like this one, that's like I think one of the worst schedules, like from 16 to 04. I mean, look at the gap, you know. So I usually preserve my devices. So it's like from 16, maybe all the way somewhere 19, close to 20. I won't touch them. And then, later on, before I could, get to sleep or anything like that, that's when I get to use them. Maybe I watch a movie or, you know, just catch up with people.
Dude, just describe yourself in few words for the sake of the viewers. Who is Kenny?
Um, I would say Kenny is adventurous,
Okay.
um, God driven, and well, at times I like to think of myself as an enthusiastic person. Yeah,
Fair enough. What's your earliest memory that you can recall as a kid?
I have a lot, honestly, but I think I'll pick from one of my favorites. That would be the family trips to Adventure City.
Ah,
Yeah.
shed some light on that.
Well, for those ones, I remember in most cases when we were going there, we'd get like new clothes, new outfits, and well, I mostly enjoyed the good food. You know? There's just something about nice food, and the swings, everything, just the whole environment. Yeah, it was. Those were like good times for me.
Just take me through your education journey.
Education. Okay, so I think from like reception, somewhere there, I was at a school called, is it what's the name? Should be Magali.
Okay.
Something like that. It's been a very long time, but you know.
Even before I go to your reception level, where were you born? Which city, in which province in Zambia?
I was born in Lusaka.
In Osaka, okay.
Yeah, UTH.
Okay. And how many siblings do you have?
I have two elder brothers.
Two older brothers. So you're the last born.
I'm the last born.
Ah, must be good, eh?
Well, yeah, it is, but you know, with time, that thing for being the last born just disappears, I guess.
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can proceed with the education journey.
Okay, so from what I can remember, yeah, there was that part. That was like Magali daycare. It was like a daycare kind of thing. And then proceeding, because I switched schools a lot, so being young again, I can't really recall all of them.
Okay.
But I think somewhere in grade 5, we're in Livingston. So I was at a primary school called Presbyterian.
Okay, so what took you to Livingston?
My mom worked under the police.
Okay.
So at that time, that's around 2012, 2013, something. She got a transfer from Lusaka
Okay.
to Livingston.
Yeah.
So that's how we, switched areas and yeah.
Okay, so how was the transition itself? Because I'm trying to picture this small Kenny moving from a familiar environment to a new environment. So
Well-
how was this transition like?
At first, it was challenging for the fact that I was leaving behind a lot of things. Okay, like my friends and some of my family members that I was really close to at that point.
Okay.
So it was a whole different feeling in terms that I felt a bit sad. Getting to move is not really easy and everything like that. But with time, I got to
To adapt to the
adapt
environment.
to the environment and everything like that.
Okay, fair enough. So you said you went to primary, you went to Livingston in the 5th grade. Just proceed from there.
Okay, so from there, that was grade 5 to grade 7.
Okay.
And then grade 8, I was at Choma Secondary. That's for like only 2 terms. And then I switched schools, but in the same area. Okay, so I was at Nisa Trust from that's grade 8 term 3 all the way to grade 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I did my whole grade 9 there. And grade 10 to 12, I was at Hillcrest.
Hillcrest, that's interesting. I want to touch a bit on Hillcrest because for me the picture that I have of Hillcrest is they have the cream. They have the good students, they have the intelligent students. I remember the time that I was back in secondary. I schooled at Material Boys Secondary School, right?
Okay.
So in the 9th grade when I was sitting for those ECZ examinations, the cream, the highest would go to the schools like Hillcrest, I remember DK, some would go to DK, and of course some would prefer to remain at Material Boys. Yeah, so dude, how was the experience you being in a class of great minds?
For me, well, at first it was very scary.
Okay.
Okay, for the fact that even when we were going there, we were, it's that thing where there are a lot of expectations put on you. Okay, so it's like you have to live up to a certain, standard with your grades and everything like that. Because I remember in my class, we're like the 4 of us that were picked to go to Hillcrest. Like the top 4 in the class.
Okay.
So, and I was like the 4th guy there. You get these other 3 were like, on top of me and everything like that.
Okay.
So it gave me that pressure. You get, say I have to make sure. But getting there, obviously you would find people who were already there, like from grade 8, and then those people that are coming from different schools as well. So it was a difficult transition, but with time we got to, push and just put in our level best. Yeah.
Okay. So you finish at Hillcrest, and then you're now in society. How long were you? How long did you wait for you to enter tertiary education?
Well, I waited for quite some time actually.
Just for context, please let us know when exactly you finished your high school, so
I
I can
finished
understand better.
in 2018.
2018.
2018, yeah.
Okay.
And then I continued with tertiary like last year.
Last year. That's 2023.
2023,
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm interested in this period that you were home. How was the experience? Because I am as a person who just entered society, I know to say there's zero source of income.
Yeah, yeah.
There's peer pressure from friends. How did you manage to preserve yourself from those from the bad influence that the environment at times will lash at you?
Okay, so I would say what really helped me was the environment I was in. Okay, because I'm staying with my sister.
Okay.
So it's actually been a great experience for the fact that I have had a lot of things to learn, and with being in certain environments, it teaches you how to handle, a lot of things that might come your way. Because I feel like the environment that we find ourselves in also has a certain way of influencing our behaviors.
True.
Okay, so I can say for sure to say you cannot be found in an environment where people are drinking and you don't expect to fall in it at some point. Okay, so for me, I was in an environment where they teach us about God and how to just live a proper manner of living as a human being and as a Christian.
Is it right for me to say that was a significant turning point in your life?
I strongly believe it was because I have grown to know the things of God and just a whole lot of different areas of life. Okay, because I would definitely tell you for sure to say the person I was before I changed environments and the person I became and I am now is totally different. So I feel
Nice.
like that was a huge turning point for me.
And I believe during this period, you took a lot of risks, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Just mention one of the biggest risks that you did or
Uh,
that you took and you learned from.
well, like this whole period of, I want to go to school. Well, the first year, that was 2019, it was all about, relaxing from school and everything like that. But again, as time went by, it hits you to say, I'm not doing anything.
Ah, yeah.
I'm broke.
Ah,
I need to find ways to make money. And
no
everything
more,
like that,
no more, no more.
Because when you leave school, you have all these expectations about society, but reality kicks in eventually. So I think one of the biggest risks I took during that time was I think that was like during the COVID period. There was that issue for the money tree. I don't know if you heard about it.
Oh, yeah, I heard of it. The one that has the kind of
Yeah, like the
pyramid kind of
pyramid
structure.
setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine brought it to me, say, look, we can be like making money. Like this is just like, it's easy investment. And I'm there, I'm like, I'm looking at the money that I would be getting if I was to really invest. but I was a bit, curious about whether it was real or not. But you'll find that people will tell you to say it's real. I was actually from drawing and everything. I had sent like a clip of him counting money.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was actually him because the way it ended is
Did
a
end
different
well.
story.
Yeah.
So I remember I put in like 300. And that was something I was saving for. Like there's this shoe that I wanted. I was saving. So I'm like,
So what was the payment that you're going to receive after investing that 300?
I think the first cut I was going to get from it was like a 1,200. And then, well, the plan was if you invest more, you obviously get more.
I see.
So I was like,
So for those that do not know the pyramid kind of scam, it's like Kalova. So you invest money, and then at the end of it all, the one at the top of the pyramid gets to receive that money as a package. And then once you receive that money at the top there, you go at the bottom and start climbing up. So it's more like climbing a tree for you to get that prize. Yes. Kenny, what was the lesson you learned from this experience?
painfully, I learned to say you don't always trust everything that comes, sweet and advertising like that. Because it was something else, I'm telling you. So yeah, I really learned how to be careful with certain things that come my way, especially when it has to do with investment. Although quite right, they say with investments there's a win, there's also losing at the same time. But you have to be also careful with the kind of platform you're investing in. Okay. So like at that time, that thing looked very attractive, I won't lie.
No, it's something that everyone has passed through.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you learned a lesson, and I believe that my viewers are gonna learn a thing or two.
I hope so too.
Kenny, what are you most proud of in your life so far?
uh I would say I'm proud of just me myself in terms of the way I have grown, because I've learned, a lot of things growing up, and experience, like they say, is the best teacher. So you get to experience a lot of ups and downs in life that give you a different perspective of a lot of things and how to handle them. So I think, yeah,
That's
thank God for growth, that they usually say. Yeah.
Let's get to know you a bit better, Kenny.
Okay.
What's a fun fact about yourself that most people do not know?
I would say people usually say I'm weird. How
Okay.
I don't usually get it, but I find a way of making so-called weird things that they say about me to be something that's unique and fun about me. Um, I'll give an example of, I think it should be last semester. I was in the school accommodation,
Okay.
and my room was like at the far end when we enter the hostels and everything. So there were times whereby there was another, like it was near the parking spot, I would say. Yeah. So what I would do is after class, instead of me going around like that, I would use like a shortcut, pass through the window, and the guys would be like, wait, that's weird, man. Like, who does that? You get. So I'm like, you guys, you just don't know how nice it actually feels. So I made that like a trend for me in terms of, just my entrances and everything like that. And well, the guys ended up liking it and adapting to the same kind of, So I think I find ways to, just find fun in doing things
In short, you set a trend.
exactly, like people, something that no one would ever expect you to do, like even walking barefoot sometimes. People are against that, but you'd find me doing it just like that.
I see.
So yeah.
I see. What's something you're passionate about that people might not be surprised to learn about?
um I am very passionate about a lot of things actually, but what I would say stands out the most is how I want to really work towards making my dreams a reality. Because I'm one person that really values the concept of legacy.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. That's Kenny, what's one thing you're currently learning or trying to improve at?
Um, they say to say you're only as good as your word.
Okay.
So how I understand the whole concept of that statement is, as a human being, even just as a man, okay, you have to make sure you always act on things that you say, okay. For example, let me say if I'm saying I will help you get something, okay, be it physical or just like providing a certain kind of help. And if I don't live up to what I am saying, it reduces the respect that that person has in me. And as a person myself, like my value in terms of the things that I say reduces.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm learning to, I would say, act on my words. Okay, let's say if I'm saying, I'm going to study tonight. Okay, I have to make sure I do it, right? Because I've already put it out there, so I'm going to do it. Okay, and if I don't, it's just going to be, empty words. Okay, so I think that's one thing that I'm trying to teach myself and move with.
I feel like even in this time and era, you just have to have a mentality of acting.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the thing is, most of us believe in that thing of just giving fake promises, fake services, and end up not doing them.
And I think
Which
that's
which makes people distrust you to a certain extent.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think the best way to live life is at least live by your word. Keep your
Exactly.
promises.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Because
think that's a good one.
even if they say to say, promises are meant to be broken, I don't think that's something that we should be comfortable with. Honestly.
Yeah.
So actions speak louder
Than words.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you for that. Kenny, what's your favorite thing to do in your free time?
That one. Well, with the way this load shedding thing is, uh, I like listening to music. If I'm not listening to music, maybe I'm watching something, be it a movie or a series. And if I completely have nothing to do, because I like, trying to find ways to keep myself busy.
Okay.
I would find certain activities that I can do. And if I'm not doing that, then I'll probably be sleeping. So yeah.
What's a book, movie, or TV show that has had a significant impact on you?
I would say uh, if it's a book, I would go for Think Big. That's by Ben Carson. I think that's also like the first serious novel that my mom ever got me. And, she was really
Keen on it.
keen on it, say you need to read this book. It's like very encouraging, and for
So-
sure it was.
So for someone like me who wasn't read it, what's it about?
Well, it's, I would say he's just taking a dive into his life story, okay? Because like for me, I think his testimony speaks out, and it's like very, very encouraging.
Okay.
So yeah,
Interesting. Let's go to your values and beliefs, Kenny.
okay.
What are your core values? When I say core values, I'm trying to say your personal ethics or ideals that guide you when making a decision and when solving problems.
Okay. The first thing, in everything that you do, put God first. Okay.
True.
And then, secondly, for me, I usually move with this in my mind. Say, whatever I'm doing or wherever I will end up in life, it has to be something that, even if my parents are not here, they'll be like, that's my son.
Yeah, they should be proud of
Who
you.
I'm very proud of. You get. So I think that's one of my biggest values that I always carry with me.
What do you believe is most important in life?
Well, again, the first thing is, fulfilling the purpose that God has brought us to this world for.
Okay.
One, um, leaving an impact that will benefit the world at the end of the day. Do something that someone can learn from and be inspired. Okay, let's say you're helping out the needy. uh, you know that should stand out for you. So yeah.
What are you most passionate about changing in the world?
uh, I know people who obviously talk about a whole lot of different things, like stopping wars and everything like that. But for me, I think the change I would want to bring is in terms of making lives better. Okay?
Bettering lives.
Especially for the vulnerable people.
Okay.
Okay, like those that don't have shelter, orphans, and the like. I think that's one thing I would really, really want to work on.
Is it right for me to say that you diverted towards that view because of what you are studying at your institution?
Well, it could be that, but it's something that has always stayed with me for the longest of time.
So for the sake of the viewers, let me just give them context to why I said that.
Okay.
So please tell the viewers what you're studying at NIPA.
I'm currently studying development studies.
Okay, just shed some light on that.
So, like, basically, even the whole statement itself just tells you everything. It's all about, improving lives, bettering and sorting out all these problems that we have in the world, like poverty and the like. So it's basically about improving the standards of living of
Okay.
people in general.
So now you understand why I said your program at school enhanced that desire in you to go towards that direction. Is it making sense now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what are you grateful for as Kenny?
What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for the life that I still have. My friends and family, and the fact that I am able to pursue my studies. Those are some things that I'm grateful for.
Fair enough. That's a good answer. Last question on your values and beliefs.
Okay.
My last question is, what does happiness mean to you?
I can put it in a lot of ways, but let me put it like this. Happiness is, for me, is being around my friends and family, like people I love, seeing them succeed and just doing good in life. It might not always be financially, but even just mentally, and just seeing them happy. And another thing would be getting to actually do something that is beneficial and
Impactful.
something impactful. Yes.
Can you let's move on to your future goals? What are you working towards now?
Well, I'm pursuing my studies,
Okay.
and in the long run, when I'm like officially done,
Yeah.
I plan on implementing everything that I have learned
Okay.
and just marrying everything with the visions that I set for myself.
Just touch a bit on that. We don't know who's watching. They would want maybe to jump on.
So
On
for
your idea.
me, I'm more into. I've always had this thing for um, wanting to do something for the community. Okay. And what I mean by that is, in terms of like building orphanages
Okay.
and everything I had. At some
Okay.
point in life, I thought of like starting my own companies. So yeah, that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good initiative, and good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. What are your dreams for the future? I think you've already tackled that question,
Yeah.
right? What's your biggest fear?
Well, I think for me, my biggest fear is failing to, you know, do the things that I have set out to do for myself in the future. Yeah.
What situation have you found yourself in? Or can you kindly describe to us a situation where you failed, but it just needed more time?
I feel like for me, there was a certain point in this whole period before school.
Okay.
You'd get frustrated with maybe how long it's taking you for you to further your studies and everything like that, and you might feel stuck. Say you might never even really push there. Although there are people that have done it without actually going to school, but looking at where we are, okay, it's like it's very important for you to further your studies first and then get to the point where you get to do certain things. So for me, I felt very stuck, and at some point it was hopeless. I felt hopeless. Say, will I ever do it? So that thing, like, it was really eating me up, but we thank God something came through.
Nice. Dude, what do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy. I would want someone to remember me for my good works,
Okay.
I would say.
Speaking of the devil, Zesco has gone.
As usual.
That's why the quality has reduced, but we still forge on.
Yeah.
We still push. Dude, do you have any special female that is close to your heart?
I would say yes.
Okay, dude, I want to plug you, eh? There's
Okay.
a new beauty bar
Okay.
in town. It's called Habibi. So that Habibi just simply stands for Hana Beauty Bar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I've got good news for you. You can even save up some money There's the June special promotion. Get your gel sets for your hands and toenails for only 300 kwacha, bro.
Oh, that's actually reasonable.
Yeah. And they also offer other services like massages, facials, waxing, lash extensions.
Okay.
And you can call them on the following number: 0963 and 0977 You can also email them on hannahbeautybar30@gmail.com. I'll put all those information. I'll put all that information when I'm airing it, so you have got no excuse not to take that special female that you have in your life,
Definitely
right?
do something about it. It's a recommendation, so it just has to be,
Thank you so much. Yeah. So we proceed, eh? Well, we're moving to a very interesting segment. I just asked you a question if you had a special female at heart. I won't ask who that is, but I also have some questions. Are you seeing someone?
At the moment, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a Lusaka disease or what?
I would say it's a whole long story.
Okay.
But to cut it short, I would say there's still a certain concept of healing and self-growth that's like that I'm going through at the moment, because
No, healing is a very important stage in one's life.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it helps you enter a new environment or a new relationship with a good energy.
Exactly.
You won't feel frustrated, you feel more happy. Because remember, the partner is supposed to help you out at your lowest times.
Yes.
You get my point? That's the most important role of a partner, And of course, in the happy times, but people do not want to associate with themselves with people who are going through a rough time, because they're losing some sort of energy in them.
Yeah.
You feel me, right?
Yeah.
So that's a very, very good response. So, dude, what's the most important thing you've learned about relationships?
For me, I would say learning to value what we would call the pillars of a relationship.
Okay.
That's trust, communication, the understanding, the tolerance, and respect. Because I feel like if any of those are lacking in a relationship, it really gets affected. So I think we have to learn to handle certain aspects of a relationship with caution, and obviously you always need God's guidance in everything that you do.
True. There's some substance there. What are your relationship deal breakers?
One, well, you know how certain Osaka traits are. I would say for me, a deal breaker would be someone who makes themselves too available to other people. Okay, in the sense that, well, people can argue with me on this one.
Okay.
People can also support me on this one.
Okay.
But I don't feel like, or let me just say, it doesn't sit well with me if you're in a relationship and you allow other people to have access to you in a way that your partner is supposed to have access to you.
More like a third wheel.
That kind of situation, okay? Like the way they usually identify the concept of besties. Get it? So let me put it in this scenario to just shed light to what I'm trying to say. Okay. Let's say you have a male friend. Okay? And you also have a boyfriend. Why should you be flirting with your male friend when you have a boyfriend?
No, that to me makes sense.
Exactly.
Of course.
So for me, that's like a deal breaker, because you're entertaining what you're supposed to be entertaining from your partner, and you're allowing other people to have access like that.
So let's say you find a very attractive girl, good personality, good character. You're attracted to her, she's attracted to you, you are dating. She's had this best friend from a young age.
Okay.
So, of course, relationships or love is about sacrifices, right?
Yeah.
And where do you draw the line to say, look, once I see this action being taken, or once I see an action between the two of you, it's done. I don't feel like that action fits in those brackets of best friendship.
Okay, so like you've put it, a situation whereby it's been like from maybe childhood and everything. Right? I feel like this is where we get to put in the concept of boundaries.
Okay.
Okay, like quite right. Yes, he's been your friend for some time. Okay, like those kind of friendships are the ones that literally turn into family, and so you cannot always encourage someone to cut off ties just because you know. So at least the least you can do is just set boundaries. Say, okay, you're my best friend, and we've been together for the longest of time. You're practically family. But you also need to understand, say, I've got someone. So certain things are not really allowed. Okay? And to just make everything safer, it's best that your friend groups are known by your partner and they know your partner. I feel like that creates a safe environment and allows you guys to navigate through whatever confusion that might come in. So yeah, I think it's really important to set certain boundaries when it comes to friendships and everything like that.
Kenny, how do you navigate conflicts in your relationships?
Well, from what I have learned
Okay.
in my past experiences, I would say one, it's always important for at least one of you not to be a dog in terms of like tempers and everything like that.
Yeah.
At least to keep it balanced, even if you're upset about something, okay, and you can see say your partner is also upset, try to control the situation by being the one that's at least calm, for you guys not to end up, you know, putting fuel to the fire, and you end up doing things that you might regret later. Okay, in most situations we make, you know, harsh decisions in the heat of the moment without really processing them. So I feel like, you know, if one of you is at least calm, you can be able to navigate through whatever challenge it is and for you guys to sort it out. And then two, I feel like you should never really let the day end without at least getting somewhere to solving your problems. Why do I say so? I've heard this somewhere else, and I've actually gotten to see to say, okay, this is why this is important. Okay, let's say you and your partner had a very serious argument, and you've gotten to nowhere to solving it, and then you sleep on it. Okay, the way you're going to wake up the next day will be very, you know, I would say ugly, in the sense that you sleep upset with each other and wake up upset with each other. And the way you're going to start the day will be with that tension from the previous night.
Yeah.
Which is not always healthy.
Yeah.
So at least, even if you don't get to fully concluding it, you at least leave it at a point where you are getting to sort it out. For you guys to be able to navigate through the next day to sorting it out completely. Yeah. So I feel like, you know, that's another thing. And then three, it's always important to get to solve conflicts in person. Why I say so? With issues for the phone, you really get limited to what you can say or how you might go about the situation. Let's say you're in the heat of the moment and you're arguing. One of you can easily just cut the phone and go like, "You're disturbing me." Okay? And at the end of the day, you won't really solve anything there. But if you're really addressing the situation in person, it gives you that platform to air out everything that has been kept, and it gets to a point where you just talk as normal people, and well, when you resolve it, you get to come together like that. So I feel like it's really important to also sort out issues in person.
Yeah, that's very true, and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Kenny, what are your communication skills? How do they differ, and how do you manage those differences?
Okay. In terms of communicating, uh, at some point, I was like one person that usually found it difficult to really, talk about certain things. But as time goes by, you realize to say the more you keep things bottled up, the worse it gets. So I feel like it's always important to be open about how you're feeling about certain things,
Yeah.
and your views on them. But at the same time, also leave room for correction where you're wrong. Why? It gives you that platform of you learning from each other in a way. Okay. You can not always think the way I'm thinking. I can think this is A when it's actually B, and you're also seeing it from the other perspective. So it's important for you to, bring out your ideas, communicate openly, and get to, you know, bring in things that will help out in terms of navigating through things. So yeah.
That's pretty smart. What are your love languages?
I think the last time I checked, there's the one that speaks out the most is quality time. Yeah. I am one person that's really on quality time.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, a bit of physical touch as well. But
I was waiting for that.
not to the extreme, just keeping it safe.
Dude, how do you balance your individual needs with the needs of your partner?
Okay, for this one, again, I learned it. Okay,
Okay.
because with certain things, some come with experience, some come with lessons that are out there.
Okay.
So I feel like with this one, when you enter in a relationship, you're building something with someone, right? And that's not something that should be taken lightly, because I feel issues that have to do with emotions and with relationships are supposed to be handled with caution.
True.
You're dealing with the heart.
True,
By the
true,
way.
true.
So I feel before you can be with someone, or as you are moving with someone, learn to actually also love yourself. And just be an individual on your own, and then you can come in to blend with what the other person is bringing in as well. Okay, I should be able to be me when you're not around, and you should be able to be you when I'm not around, and we should be able to be us when we're together, in the sense that we balance each other. So yeah, I think that would be the main concept on that.
That's very interesting. You've touched on very important points. Lastly, what advice would you give your younger self about relationships?
What advice would I give myself? Um, One, learn to control your temper, because I've had challenges when it comes to dealing with my temper. But we thank God, I can proudly say I have managed to handle those kind of things. And then two, always process things before you act on them. Because if we make impulsive decisions, there will be consequences. You always have to think actions through before you actually get to implement them to prevent you from doing the wrong things and finding yourself in positions that are really ugly. So I think that's one thing I can tell my younger self. But through this whole process, I would say I have grown and I have learned things and learned to see this concept of relationships from a different perspective.
Do you listen to music?
Yes, I do.
What music do you listen to?
Uh,
First start with the Zambian music or supporting our local music.
okay. Um, with Zambian music, I would say I listen to the likes of Venimodekai, FJ, those guys, a bit of Yo Maps,
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the Zambian industry itself? Do you think it's doing fine?
At this point, okay, yeah, there's some people that are doing fine, but I feel like we have to
Support
find
them?
ways in,
To support them.
supporting. Yes, because I feel in terms of supporting and just putting each other out there, we are a bit lacking.
True.
So I think that's one thing we need to really work on.
Especially on the upcoming artists, I personally feel that they have very good talent,
Yes.
very, very good songs, and you can tell to say they really need our support.
Yes,
So,
because on that one especially, for the ones that are upcoming, you end up discovering to say there are a lot of talented people in Zambia, but like them just having that exposure isn't just there.
shout out to Scopic HP. He's a very good upcoming musician.
See?
I've known him from a very young age. Shout out to Paul Travi is also a very good musician, and also some other upcoming musicians. I won't mention names, but yeah, there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to the musicians out there who are really trying to put Zambia on the map. Zambia Kuchalo. Dude, we're now moving to the games segment, and we're gonna play this or that.
Alright.
So the first part A will consist of the this or that and the food, and the part B will consist of the travel and leisure. Yes, so we'll start with the food segment, right? That's the part A.
Okay.
Pizza or tacos?
For this one, I've never really tried that tacos, so I think I'll go for tacos on this one.
Tacos, eh?
Yeah.
Second one would be coffee or tea.
Coffee or tea, I'll go for coffee.
Any reason?
I'm very big on coffee, and for the fact that most of the times I take tea, so I'd prefer coffee to tea. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. The third one is ice cream or chocolate.
This one's getting interesting. I'll go for ice cream.
Any reason to that?
Well, chocolate is nice, but for me, I prefer ice cream in the sense that in most of the cases, even when I was like a bit younger, I would like ice cream a lot.
Is it because you would only get ice cream when it's hot season or what?
That's kind of situation.
I had a feeling. Okay, the fourth one is burgers or fries.
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 Yeah,
Any
fries.
day. Eh?
Any day.
The fifth one is breakfast or dinner.
This one is tricky. Okay, this one is tricky for the fact that they say, and it actually is, like breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Okay.
It gets you up and running in the morning and everything like that. But dinner again, it's like you can't sleep on an empty stomach. Okay? So it's hard, but I think maybe I'll go for breakfast.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So we're now moving to segment B, right?
Yeah.
That covers the travel and leisure. So the first one is beach or mountains.
Beach.
Okay. Any reason to that?
Just the whole view of the beach and getting to play with water. Yeah, that one does it for me.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. The second one is city or country.
City. There are a lot
Why?
of things that you can do in the city.
Ah.
So yeah, I think it's like an active place.
And I think just to top up on what you've said is, I think for a city, every city has got its activities, right?
Exactly.
So if you feel a certain kind of way, there's a city that will match your your mood in that particular moment, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give you an example of Las Vegas, right? Casinos everywhere,
Exactly.
enjoyment everywhere. So if you want to have that kind of environment, you'd rather want to go to a city like Las Vegas, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
City of love, Paris. If you want to feel, if you want to take your loved one to a good city that you obviously have good memories,
Yeah.
you can take them to Paris. You get my point. So with a city, it's easy for you to get the particular energy that it's giving out, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. The third one is road trip or plane trip.
For the fact that I've got a zeal for adventure,
Oh.
I'll go for road trip. Although a plane trip is nice, but road trip gives you like a wider sense of adventure. Yeah.
Okay. The fourth one is camping or hotel.
Wow. Camping is nice, but hotel, I think I'll go for hotel.
Fair enough. The fifth one is reading or watching movies.
That's a no-brainer, man. I'm going for movies.
What movies do you like?
I would say I literally watch everything except horror movies, because horror movies and me don't really get along. Funny enough, I just don't like, you know, that rush of adrenaline it gives you unexpected and everything like that. Although at some point okay, no. After I come to think of it, the only thing I have watched that's closer to a horror that I can actually enjoy is maybe Stranger Things. Yeah, but
see.
everything else, no. Yeah.
Okay. So the sixth one is hiking or swimming. Could you hold your mic like this? Yeah.
Hiking or swimming? Hiking.
Hiking. Why?
I've never tried it, so I'd want to try it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Fair enough. Or is it that you're just not a good swimmer?
I try, but I'm not that good. I won't lie.
Okay.
There's still
Okay.
room for improvement.
The last one is museums or concerts.
Concerts. I feel them more live. Okay, for
Any
museum.
any experience of a concert?
I
Concert that you're at?
I attended a few last year.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually enjoyed myself like very much.
Who did you go watch?
There was one by Bread of Life. There was another one at Government Complex. So, yeah, and that was actually like the first time I was actually attending something like that. So the whole experience was a good one.
Ah, good for you. Good for you. We're done with the games segment,
Okay.
and this is me wrapping up the episode of Pick Your Brain.
Yeah.
Before we wrap it up, how was the whole experience of the Pick Your Brain with Mr. Reloaded?
For me, it's honestly a privilege. Okay, I mean it's not always that someone would like invite you and just go like, we want to know about you and everything that you have in store for these kind of things. It gives me a great sense of pleasure. I would say it's a great experience.
Thank you so much. And I hope to have you soon.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy, Mr. Reloaded, and you've been watching Pick Your Brain. See you when you see me. Ciao.